So for example, aisles should be clear at all times so that students or even teachers aren't tripping in the class, and they should be open enough to allow teacher and student interactions without bothering other students. Then the trash can area is usually very messy, especially when they do some kind of crafts and they all have to go and throw their garbage, so that can get messy, as well as the cabinets when they need to get their materials. So these are what I like to call traffic jams. And the way to avoid them is to plan traffic patterns. This is observe your class, see how your students move around the class, see which ones are the moments where they move the most, or who are the students who move the most. And you can practice with them these patterns, and at first it's going to be difficult for them to adapt, but we should explain to them the importance of these patterns so they can understand why they're useful. Then we have visual displays. And the issue with this is to differentiate between decoration and distraction. We have this study contemplating design, listening to children's preferences about classroom design. And children between the age of 3 and 5 were presented two classrooms, one with low visual and the other one with high visuals. So about the low visual classroom, children said that they liked the circular shapes and the spherical forms. They liked the big windows and the big space to run. And this classroom was preferred by boys. And then we had about the high visual classroom, they said that they liked the decorative items and the texture and rhythm that they add to the class. And this classroom was preferred by girls. There wasn't a big difference between these preferences, but it is always important to take into account the children's or your students' preferences. But teachers must balance out what is pretty and what is actually purposeful in the classroom. And for that, this is one of my favorite tools, the bulletin boards. I believe that they are really useful, and also they can be very, very creative as well. They showcase relevant information. Students have access to their routines, schedules, rules, announcement, objectives of the lesson, unit, class, so that we can all be on the same page. Students can create their own bulletin boards so that they can exhibit the work and see what they did during the month or during the unit. And attention with the bulletin boards, because sometimes we can make it way too colorful or way too flashy, so they turn into a distraction instead of a useful tool. So in conclusion, the physical space is one of the most important factors that affect our students' performance when learning. Especially here in Paraguay, that primary students spend pretty much their whole day in the same classroom. It is key to turn the classroom into a comfortable environment where they feel encouraged to learn, to pay attention to what the teacher is saying, and that is creative and interesting enough to actually make them want to pay attention to it. These, like the seating arrangements and the visuals, these all might seem like little details, but I believe that when taking care of them, you can make the biggest difference in your class. Thank you very much.